And hello everybody, welcome back to RFC News. Ladies and gentlemen, some breaking news for you on this Friday afternoon as Rangers' vice chairman has essentially stepped down with immediate effect. Now, this is due to, this move is understood to be precautionary. It's a precautionary measure in line with UEFA's multi-club regulations. And as we already know, Paraag Marathe is, of course, the Leeds United chairman. There's also another individual from the Ibrox board that has also stepped down. So yeah, let's get into this breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. But first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So, yes, as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, Paraag Marathe is stepping down from his role as Rangers vice chairman. The move is understood to be a precautionary measure in line with UEFA's multi-club regulations. Marathe is currently the Leeds United chairman, and as you can see, there's quite a lot here of information with regard to this. Paraag Marathe has stepped down from his role as Rangers vice chairman ahead of the March deadline for UEFA MCO compliance. This is to ensure Leeds United wouldn't lose any European place. Discuss this possibility, obviously, in June. Now, both Hearts and Rangers, both are part of that sort of multi-club thingy, so to speak, model. And we both, as clubs, wouldn't be unlikely of risking losing our European places. They may set other changes introduced to ensure the English club doesn't lose their place, such as a ban or transferring players or to each other or removal of any shared scouting databases in case Rangers, they may see their vice chairman step down. So this has already come into place now. And of course, the Rangers vice chairman has stepped down with immediate effect, with another Ibrox director quitting with immediate effect as well. Let's have a little look, find out who that other person is that's taken over. Director Gene Schuer has also stepped down from his position in the Ibrox board. He remains on the board at Ellen Road and prompting the move to avoid any potential breach of UEFA regulations. So, yeah, we're finding out this now, and yeah, they have Paraag Marathe has, of course, stepped down as vice chairman. Obviously, Andrew Kavanagh is the chairman at this moment in time. That's still going to continue, but Marathe and Schuer have stepped down. Discussions with the UEFA, and it's all precautionary measure. And as you can see, this news is breaking as we speak. So yes, Rangers vice chairman has stepped down with immediate effect. Now, in terms of what that means for us, I don't think it's going to matter too much. This sort of multi-club model, these clubs are well rehearsed in what they need to do, of course, to stay compliant. But we've seen the repercussions of what can happen in English football due to this sort of multi-club model. We've seen Crystal Palace, who qualified for the Europa League via the FA Cup last season, actually have to step down to the Conference League due to the conflictions between their multi-club model in the other competition. So, yes, Crystal Palace actually had to give up a place in the Europa League despite qualifying for it. Had to give up the money that comes along with it due to simply having a multi-club model. So it's good that the 49ers are taking these precautions to make sure that it's compliant. But from a Rangers perspective, it doesn't seem as though it would affect us necessarily, but more so Leeds, if they've got that ambition to, of course, see Leeds United qualify for Europe, you know. And the 49ers are quite ambitious, as we know. We've seen the conversations that they've been having. You've seen the actions that they've been doing at Rangers at this moment in time. And obviously Leeds United, whilst they're sort of in a, not necessarily a relegation scrap right now, but they're 15th in the league. And we've seen how fast and quickly teams can move from that sort of relegation fodder all the way into those sort of European spaces in the Premier League. So yeah, sort of a precautionary measure, but certainly something that's not necessarily going to change too much for us. Kavanagh is continuing to a hand-on role, and I think Kavanagh's came out and earned your respect, as I think, as Rangers supporters. So he's going to stay there. And the 49ers commitment, most importantly, plans are completely unchanged. So the 49ers are committed as much as they were upon buying the football club. and are committed to making Rangers a success and are continuing to support Rangers and being successful. But just due to these discussions with UEFA, Marathe and Shuna have stepped down with immediate effect. So yeah, guys, Old Firm this weekend. How are we all feeling? Anyone got the nerves kicking in just yet, or are we waiting to see? I don't know. There's a lot of kicking off between Danny Rule. He sort of caused Martin O'Neill to go in a bit of a meltdown. In fact, I'm probably going to dedicate another video to that a little bit later on, speaking about the Old Firm derby. Cannot wait. Celtic obviously winning in Germany, but losing. They were eliminated from the Europa League to Stuttgart the other night, and all eyes on this one. And certainly between the sort of press conferences, it is getting pretty ferocious between the two. And Martin O'Neill seemingly starting to get triggered by Danny Rule's comments. And as we know, sometimes these games can be won. Not even been played on the pitch, but the mind games. Of course, Celtic trying to pressure the referees this week. Of course, that's their sort of go-to tactic. And we're playing mind games, I suppose, with their players, their squad, and their managers thinking. But yeah, I can't wait for this game. It's going to be a good one. But just going to salute the chat, guys. Probably won't be live for too long, considering there's not so many people here. But Kyle Wright says hello. Hello, Kyle Wright. Hope you're well. London Kane, Union Jack flags, beautiful flags there. And then Roth says, he was never here anyway. He has a full-time job at Leeds. We need someone that's hands-on. Well, Andrew Kavanagh was always the chairman. You're right. Paraag McGrath was never really there. He was the vice chairman, though, so he did have a big sort of position, so to speak. But regardless of that, yeah, you're right. He doesn't necessarily have that much of a big role to sort of fulfill. And nothing's really going to be unchanged for Rangers going forward. But I'm expecting this club to spend big in the summer. But we're obviously wanting to see us win this title. And I think this next game, we've been speaking about Old Firm derby at Ibrox. If we haven't got what it takes to beat this wounded Celtic at Ibrox, then we don't deserve to win the title. I know I say that pretty much every single week when we go up against anyone. I said that about Livingston. If we can't beat Livingston, bottom of the table, then we don't deserve to win the title. But we've been kept in this title race. But I feel like the games are running out, and making up ground in this title race is going to have to, we're going to have to win some matches. And what a way to beat Celtic in this one. For those of you that are looking in terms of domestically, we're pretty much unbeaten since about the 1st of September 2024 domestically. So in the league, we're unbeaten in the Old Firm derby since the 1st of September 2024. The results since then, of course, in the league have been Rangers 3-1 against Celtic at Celtic Park. Then, of course, we had a draw at the start of the season at Ibrox, 0-0. Russell Martin was the manager. Brendan Rodgers was the manager of them. 1-1 on the 4th of May. We also beat them 16th of March at Celtic Park 3-2. Then we beat them on the 2nd of January 3-0. And then, yeah, our last defeat in this league fixture was back in September 2024. But guys, let me know your thoughts on this breaking news down there in the comment section below. We'll be back with a bit more juicy Old Firm Martin O'Neill meltdown a little bit later on. But guys, thank you so much for